Welcome to the new Maintenance and Facilities Project at the Norman Y. Mineta San Jose International Airport. This is the job site-specific portion of the site orientation. The site safety-specific orientation will cover the following subjects. 1. A brief project description. 2. Site access and logistics. 3. The daily job site procedures and check-in process using Safe Site Check-in. 4. Specific airport security and safety measures that will need to be followed. 5. The inspection process and disciplinary measures as it pertains to safety on the job site. The new facilities project is a 22,700 square foot building which will be located on the southwest end of the airfield at the Norman Y. Mineta San Jose International Airport. The new facilities project will include 2 buildings. The first building will be housing the airport's multiple maintenance shops on the first floor, and the second floor will be housing the airport's administration offices. The second building will house storage fleet, maintenance equipment, and storage. In addition, the new facilities will include access road and access control measures on Coleman Avenue, utility infrastructure, 60 landside parking spaces, 83 airside parking spaces, 2 fuel tanks above ground, landscaping, exterior lighting, and more. There are a number of acronyms used on government projects such as this. Here's a list of the common ones that you will hear frequently on this project. The airport has some key safety and logistic requirements that are expected by OVRA and their trade partners. 1. Keep construction activities on the land side of the project unless specifically directed as appropriate for AOA work. 2. Only pre-approved work will be allowed on the air side, also known as the AOA. 3. Our activities shall be coordinated so as to not disrupt the GA West operations to the north of the project. 4. Extreme caution must be used around known or unknown existing utilities. There is major infrastructure in and around the site that is critical to the operations of the airport. 5. We expect each and every individual to protect themselves and others on the job site. Everyone has the right to stop an unsafe act. 6. We want everyone to go home safe each and every day. The listed job site hours are 6 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Work needing to be performed outside of these hours must get approved by OVRA. Each employee or visitor that enters the site must go through the site-specific orientation. You will then receive a project-specific sticker with an employee identification number on it. You must display this on your hard hat at all times while on site. OVRA has implemented daily COVID-19 compliance measures that meet or exceed the CDC and Santa Clara County guidelines. Each employee or visitor must complete the Safe Site Check-in process prior to coming on site. Every morning, OVRA will be conducting our Stretch and Flex at 6 a.m. Every Monday morning, there will be a full job site safety meeting, which is mandatory for all personnel on site. No personal vehicles will be allowed to be parked on site. Employees will enter by foot through Vehicle Gate 1, also known as VG1. You will be immediately required to complete the Safe Site Check-in upon entering VG1. Only vehicles with a company logo will be permitted to enter through Vehicle Gate 1, also known as VG1. Once you are approved for site access, all PPE shall be worn immediately upon leaving the designated staging area. The designated staging area is where OVRA will be providing shade and break areas. Only vehicles with a company logo will be permitted to park at the parking besides ARFF. Deliveries can occur between the hours of 6:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. by entering Vehicle Gate 1. Delivery drivers must check in using the Safe Site Check-in. A flagger must be provided by the subcontractor receiving the delivery. OVRA requires a minimum of 24 hours notice of deliveries for coordination purposes. Large deliveries shall require up to 1 week notice so logistics can be coordinated. OVRA's staff will turn away any delivery that does not comply with the guidelines. Shown here are the project-specific signage you will see out on the job site. Please heed all direction given on the signs for the safety of others and yourself. This job site requires standard personal protective equipment, or PPE. 1. A safety vest or shirt with reflective striping, hard hat, safety glasses that are ANSI Z87 rated, a durable work boot, and gloves specific to the work that is being performed. 2. Long pants are a requirement by all personnel and site visitors. Each subcontractor is required to perform a daily job hazard analysis, tool and equipment inspection, and daily field report. These reports can be done electronically in Procore or on paper. If assistance is needed, we can provide a standard Overa version for our subcontractors. Overa's Safe Site Check-in program is a contactless program. Each employee will scan the QR code with their cell phone camera, which will direct you to a web browser that you will enter your personal information and answer the 5 standardized questions. If an employee or visitor does not have a cell phone or a compatible cell phone, they must fill out a paper copy of the personal information sheet and answer the 5 questions. Subcontractor supervisors must verify that each of their employees complete this process before performing any work on site each day. A 7460-1 form is to be submitted with information on both steel cranes and concrete pumps for approval to use this equipment above the 35 feet FAA requirement. All equipment and work not listed as part of the 7460-1 application and approval is to remain under 35 feet. All construction equipment for the ARFF project used in grading, paving, and utility work are to meet the Tier 4 engines requirement. Any equipment found to not have T4 engines must follow the non-compliant procedures in the CEMP. Equipment shall not idle for longer than 2 minutes at any given time. Equipment must be properly maintained and tuned per the manufacturer's specifications. Overa's construction emission minimization plan is available upon request during business hours in the Overa job site trailer. All construction equipment is to be inspected upon first arrival on site, as well as inspected daily before operations. Overa or its subcontractors are to assign a competent person who will be responsible for the daily inspections and use of the equipment listed for ARFF project. All equipment is to be inspected daily for fuel or oil leaks and check engine indicators. Any equipment found to be non-compliant with the CEMP or in need of services is to immediately follow the non-compliant procedures in the CEMP. All vehicles are to be registered with the state and shall display EIN and vehicle serial numbers. All vehicles on site are to have smog emission test reports up to date and made available to Overa to be kept in the job site trailer. Subcontractor equipment inspections and daily reports are to be made available to Overa's Site Quality Manager, SQM, by 9 a.m. the following day. Overa's SQM is to keep a record log of daily inspections reflecting which equipment was used on site each day and the status of each piece of equipment. Failure to provide equipment daily reports will subject the subcontractor to the non-compliant procedure outlines in the CEMP. The airport requires Overa to enforce a foreign object debris management plan. This includes, but is not limited to, securing and storing tools and equipment at the end of each day so that they are secure. All stockpiles must be covered when not in use, and there shall not be any materials, equipment stored or loaded within 5 feet of the AOA line. To help prevent security breaches, the following procedures will be enforced. As previously mentioned, no storage within 5 feet of the AOA fence. There will be no trenching under the AOA fence. Workers on AOA side must be within sight and sound of a badged person. Ladders or other climbing aids must be secured down at the end of each business day. All personnel must adhere to the posted signage on site. A safety alert is written to an Overa construction employee or subcontractor who has been working in an unsafe manner. It can also be written to a worker who has been asked to work safely and has ignored the request or the safe work requirement altogether. An employee must also be written up for attempting to complete a life-threatening job task and being asked to stop work or for choosing to work without any safety equipment. Class 1 violation, first infraction, verbal or written warning, provided coaching. Second infraction, written warning and safety alert. Notification to employer, employee removed from project for remainder of day, and proof of retraining. Third infraction, same as second infraction, removal from project for 3 working days. Fourth infraction, removal from project indefinitely. Class 2 violation, first infraction, written warning and safety alert, notification to employer, employee removed for remainder of day, retraining employee. Second infraction, written reprimand and safety alert, employee and supervisor removed from project for 3 working days, project reorientation required. Third infraction, permanent removal from project. Class 3 violation, first infraction, written reprimand and safety alert, notification to employer, removal from project and any over a project indefinitely. All subcontractors will be held responsible as a company for the safety efforts of their employees on the job site. The Injury and Illness Prevention Program mandates that all trade contractors and their subcontractors be responsible for the prevention of incidents on their job sites. They are responsible for the safety training and instruction of all employees under their direct supervision. Individual subcontractors are responsible for safeguarding their work to ensure the protection of all employees at the job site. Subcontractors must provide all personal protective equipment, tools, and other equipment necessary to perform the job safely. Overa Construction reserves the right to skip steps in the implementation of the disciplinary policy based on the severity of the violation. Inspections of work by project inspector shall require 48 hours notice. Special inspections shall require up to 72 hours notice for tasks related to rebar, concrete, welding, soils compaction, and post-installed anchors. These examples are not all-inclusive and are subject to change. All work shall be performed in accordance with the highest standards of workmanship in general, in which such standards as are specified. At Overa, we have challenged our own employees and every person that is involved on our projects to work towards the end goal, a successful project. To get there, we must follow this simple message. It is all about the project. Each individual involved on an Overa project has something great to contribute to the project. All of your hard work is valued and is important to the success of our projects. The phrase, "it's all about the project," means that we are all responsible for making sure that the project is safe and successful. Support your team in the field, coordinate with each other. When we achieve a goal, celebrate as a team. Look at the phrase, "it's all about the project," and act on it every day. Thank you for contributing to the success of this project. Be safe and lead by example out there. If an emergency or medical event occurs, reference this sheet that is posted in Overa's job site trailer. If 911 must be called, Overa must call airport operations at 408-277-5100. Should the horn be heard, all persons on site are to immediately leave by the nearest exit in an orderly manner and make their way to the evacuation meeting area shown. Everyone is to remain there until further instructions by emergency personnel or management. At this time, roll call will be taken to ensure all are accounted for. We have reached the end of the job site-specific portion of the site orientation. We thank you for listening, and remember, it's all about the project.